Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm just going to do a very simple but still slightly dramatic look using the Juvias Saharan 2 palette. Today, just to let you know, I'm just going to stick around into these three shadows and then go in a little bit with this shadow. And if you would like to see a simple tutorial on how to get a nice dramatic but still wearable look, please keep watching. Okay, so I already have my base and my brows done. So now with a more concentrated blending brush, I'm going to go into this color right here, which is Taza, and I'm going to put that all along my crease. And I did not set my base of concealer, so that way it picks up the pigment and gets great pigmentation from the color. I'm just going to, as I'm placing this, just gently try to buff it out the edges with just a light hand. I'm going to wing it out a little bit because for this look we want the shadows to be winged out. You just want to build up that color a little bit in your crease, but don't take it too high because in a moment we're going to take a clean blending brush and buff out the edges. And now with a clean fluffy blending brush, we're just going to buff out the edges. And try to hold the handle at the end because you don't want to push down too hard to blend it. You want to have a nice light touch and use windshield wiper motions with little circles just to buff out the edges and make it gradiently make it fade out. Okay, now that I have the color Taza buffed out from my crease, now I'm just going to deepen up the crease with this darker, more chocolatey shade, which is called Fez from the palette. And just going to take that on a smaller, very dense blender brush. And just going to lightly just stay right in the crease. Don't take it higher up. Just stay right in the crease and tap and blend it out as you go. We're also going to build it up on the outer corner. And now going back in with the first shade we used, but without any extra product on the brush, just use what's left in there. You're just going to buff out the crease to make sure that that darker shade blends in with the lighter shade that we put on first. You're just going to buff that out. I'm going to buff out the wing also to make it nice and smoky. Then after that, just going to buff out the edges again, just to make sure it stays nice and faded. Okay, and then once you have the matte shadows nice and buffed out in the way you want them, you're going to take some concealer on the back of your hand, and take a small, flat, detailed brush, dip it in there, and now we're going to cut the crease in half, which is usually called a half-cut crease, which is where you're going to start in the center, and then you're going to fan it out, bring it above your natural crease, and then let it fade out. You're not going to bring it all the way out, you're just going to bring it halfway. And then once you have it cut out, you're just going to pat out the edges, so you can have a nice fade. And the reason you cut your crease after applying your mattes is to make sure that you have a nice, clean, sticky surface for your shimmers to pop up on. And whenever you cut your crease, bring it a little bit above your natural crease. As you can see, my natural crease is right here. You're going to bring it just a little bit above there, so that way whenever you're looking forward at someone, you can still see a little bit of it poking through. Okay, and now that I have my both of my creases cut the way I want them, I'm going to go back into the palette and go back into this dark shade called Fez, and I'm just going to pat it on the outer edge of the cut crease just to give back that definition, And then in a little bit, we will blend it out with the shimmers, so that way it does a nice fade from the shimmers into the matte. I'm just buffing out the edges again since I added on a little bit more of the matte shadows. And just a disclaimer, Juvia's Place is one of my favorite eyeshadow companies. Their shadows are so pigmented and just creamy and just top-notch quality, and they are extremely affordable. Okay, and now the next step, I'm going to take a flat brush and go into this shade called Berber. It's this beautiful shimmery blue shade. And then I'm going to pack that on the inner third of my lid. Don't bring it all the way into the inner corner because that'll be for another shadow. Just going to pack this here and blend it out into the outer corner. Going to keep packing that on and bringing it out a little further to help blend it. And then taking the same brush again that we used for Fez, and just without any extra product, just use what's left on the brush, just gently tap the edge just to help it blend. So that way we don't have a harsh line between colors. That way we have a nice fade from one to the next. Now just doing the same to the other side. Okay, and now with another flat brush, I'm going to go into this shade, which is Marrakesh. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And this will go on the inner third of the lid, and we're going to fade it out into the blue. Now I'm just going to pack that on the inner corner. Keeping it in and letting it go out into the blue. And then we'll take that brush we used for the blue and pat and blend that out so it does a nice fade into it. And just keep working the shades back and forth just to get the right gradient fade that you want. If you want something done good, you need to take the time to do it. And sometimes that means going back and forth in between shadows to make sure you have it the way it needs to be. And whenever I'm blending in the shimmer shades, I like to bring the inner corner shade a little bit higher so it makes kind of a wave and come up here. It just adds a nice definition to the eye shadows. Okay, and the next step I do once I get done doing my top shadows, I will wing out my liner. Now for this look, you don't have to have liner on. You could just pop on some lashes and smoke out your bottom lid. But for me, for this look, I like to have a little bit of liner, at least the liner, but then I'll probably do a wing with it. Now I'm just going to create the wing. I find that for my eyes, whenever I do a nice big wing, it lifts my eyes more. Okay, and then once you have the liner that you want, then just take any mascara that works best for you and just put them on your lashes. Okay, and after I have a coat of mascara on, now I'm going to do my waterline with some black eyeliner. With this look, you could use brown liner also, but I want to use my black today. And now that I'm done with my liner on my waterline, I'm going to go back into the palette, into the first shade we used called Taza, and I'm going to take this small detailed blending brush. I'm going to pick up a little bit on there and I'm going to smoke out my waterline. Going to connect it with the top lid. Then after that, I'm going to go back into this darker shade and just deepen up the outer corner and connect it with the top lid. Okay, now that you have your bottom lid nice and smoky, then we're going to take some waterproof mascara on a small wand and just put some mascara on your bottom lashes. Okay, and then after you're done applying your mascara to your bottom lashes, then you want to get your false lashes ready. Today, for this look, I want to use my House of Lashes lashes in the style Starlet. I'm going to take some House of Lashes lash glue. And just apply just enough, not too much, not too little, because you don't want to have a mess, but you want to have enough to where it sticks. And then you're just going to let that take time to get tacky. And then with your tweezers or with your fingers, how some people are comfortable doing, just going to take the lashes and put it right above your lash line, and not in them, but right above it. Now just going to make sure they're placed properly before the glue sets in. And once you have it placed on, let the glue dry before you curl your lashes and clamp them with your natural lashes. And of course, you don't have to use bigger lashes like I am. You can use more natural, smaller lashes. I'm just a girl that prefers big, luscious lashes. Okay, and then once you've given the glue enough time, you're going to take your lash clamp. I'm assuming that's what it's called. Get your lashes through there. And don't press too hard on your false lashes, but just enough to clamp your natural ones into your falsies to give it a seamless appearance. Okay, and then once you've clamped your lashes and given them a little lift, we're going to do the final finishing touch, and we're going to highlight our brow bone and our inner corner. And for this, I'm going to go into the palette and use the color Aziza. It's this very light, shimmery gold shade. We're going to take it on a small brush, and we're going to highlight the inner corner. That's a little much, but that's okay. I like to shine. Then I'm going to take a little bit and go across your brow bone just to highlight it. And now here is the finished look. If you enjoyed this video and if it was helpful to you, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a big thumbs up. And please, if you enjoyed it or you have any constructive criticism, please leave a comment. And if you try out this look, please leave a photo in the comments so I can see how you did. And I used this one single palette, the Juvias Place palette Saharan 2. So thank you again for watching, and please come back for more. Bye.